I go to many countries in the world, and I am happy that there's a worldwide movement of young people. It was young people who brought down the Berlin Wall. You saw them coming over the wall. They had long hair, and they waved, and they had T-shirts. In every country that I've been, in Brazil, in Germany, in Holland, in France, in England, young people are very similar. You can tell the way they look, because they have that attitude and that smile in their eyes. They ain't going to work on Maggie's farm no more. They ain't going to work on Sony's farm no more. They come together through the music, and they can recognize each other by their dress, because it's not very expensive, but it expresses the attitude of freedom and of irreverence and of fun. Most of these groups communicate through magazines. There are 3 or 4 magazines in England. They're wild with pictures, and they tell us what's happening in other countries. In America, there's a magazine called Mondo 2000. Every time it comes out, it's filled with global young people's art and technology. And yes, technology is very important. These people know how to make their own films, just as you're doing it right now. This is happening in all these other cities. And Joe Ito, who is from Hyperdelic Video in Tokyo, goes around bringing these videos, like the one you're making, to America and to other countries. If you get this video and you give it to Joe Ito in Tokyo, within 5 days I can be showing it in the United States to young people. There are some wonderful magazines in Tokyo that, again, it's global. It's not like the hippies in the old days of just live in the country. These are high tech, high touch, high energy. And the main thing is think for yourself, question authority, and form groups to make a better world. About something called virtual reality, VR. It has the head mounts, and you look through it, and it has very expensive computers that make it work. I do not like VR, because VR is very expensive. It costs $50,000, $300,000. It's not for the people. It's not for the individual. But we are working, my group in America is working with Japanese groups to develop very inexpensive electronic realities, electronic environments. They run off Nintendo with a compact disc. They run on the Sega Genesis with a compact disc. They work off NEC TurboGrafx. They run on the Mac. In other words, they're available for the 10-year-old, the 12-year-old child. We're developing software that will allow you to build your own environments. You can decide what kind of a home you want, and then there's your living room. And you click on the living room door, and there's your playroom. And you walk down the hallway, there's a telephone. You can click on the telephone, and then your modem, and you can call somebody else. We're developing very inexpensive software to go with compact discs, inexpensive hardware, to break down the walls of Japan and America, to break down the walls of language, or it takes a lot of money to travel from Japan to America. Now, a 15-year-old school person in Kyoto can click and be in the same room with someone in America or someone in England. Not physically, but your eyes are there. We want to break down the walls of language. A new language will develop. It's a language of young people. It's a language of music and graphics, so that instead of talking in Kanchi or in French or in American, we will learn how to talk with scenes and clips and films. There'll be some words that will be like neon lights, exit, or drinks, or music, but a new language will develop, and it's a language of young people. You cannot learn anything from anyone over the age of 30 or 35. They're the old way. Young people must take over. In the 1960s and 70s in America, we used to say, power to the people. That was political. Now we say, power to the pupil, meaning to the young people. Young people in Japan have great power. You're smart, you know how to run Nintendos and computers, and there's an enormous amount of money that the young consumers have. And don't waste it on trendy yuppie clothes, what they call the Shinjin Rui. Start your own stuff. There's another wonderful group of people who are operating with youth. It's called Anarchic Adjustment. And they are designing clothes, which immediately they sell the clothes, celebrate freedom, and they celebrate global ideas. As a matter of fact, in a minute, if we can do it, we'll show you some of these artistic clothes that will express the feelings of young people, global friendship and high-tech communication. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, take your trip. There you go.
The true revolution is the one inside. The true revolution is the one inside your head.
The true revolution is the one inside your head. The problem of young people in Japan is the problem that young people had in America in 1950s. They listened quietly to what the teachers said and never expressed their opinion. In the 1960s and 70s, the young people in America spoke up. It was called glasnost or perestroika. Young people, the rock and roll music, the hippies, they spoke up. Question authority. Think for yourself. Now it is time for Japanese young people. Do not sit there quietly and listen. Speak up. Think for yourself. Form small groups of young people thinking for yourself. Do not follow leaders.